In 1843, Franz Liszt, who was at the time arguably the best pianist in Europe, he wrote a piece called I'll get the German right. It's the Hungarian Attack March. It's Ungarischer Sturmmarsch. And he wrote this piece as a patriotic gesture to his homeland of Hungary. And at the time, people were going crazy for Liszt. It was called Listomania. It was like Beatlemania, only 200 years earlier. Ladies would faint when he came out on the stage. Afterwards, they'd swarm him, stealing his scarves and his gloves, dividing them into little pieces and sharing them among themselves. They'd pour out bits of his coffee and take it with him. He once threw out his old end of his cigar, and some lady picked it up, put it in her locket, and kept it forever. Liszt was that popular. He wrote these difficult pieces that celebrated and showed off his intense skill. He was so successful by 1857, he was giving away all of his money that he earned, which was considerable, to charity, and became quite a philanthropist. Later in his life, in and around 1876, he took that Ungarischer Sturmmarsch and he wrote it for full orchestra. And in it, for probably one of the first times, was featured an instrument that had just been developed 2 years earlier in Hungary. And that is the Cimbalom, and you see that over there. It's a kind of hammered dulcimer, but it was fitted out with all kinds of extra strings. There's 133 strings in there. I know I tuned each of them today. And it's an incredible sound. We don't hear it too much today in the orchestra, but you have heard it. You don't even know it. In Lord of the Rings, Gollum, that crazy animated character, that's his instrument. You hear that playing. And if you've watched the BBC Sherlock Holmes, you've heard it there too. It's, you can't see it from this angle, but there are these 133 strings laid open to the player, and the player uses these very delicate mallets. They're very rare, they're very thin and fragile, very hard to come by. And you play the instrument by striking the strings like this, you know. Well, that was unfortunate. Anyway, I'll see how I can do one-handed on this. We have two of them generally. So, the Hungarian Attack March. It's okay, this was part of it. So if I may have another 30 seconds, you might wonder what that was all about. I played this instrument with a symphony orchestra some years ago, and I was having trouble getting just the right attack. I was telling the conductor, and he was from Germany, I was telling him, I'm trying to get the right attack on it, and I did just that. It actually happened to this very hammer. And we both looked at each other, and he said, I hope you have a spare.
Okay, Rob, can you demonstrate a little bit before we actually play? That'd be wonderful. And could you, do you need the piano that in front so they can see your hammer?